So when you're working on a page or inside of a database entry, you have a lot of blocks to choose from. And it will always prompt you with type / for commands, but you don't have to do that. If you just want to start typing, you can just type some text. And that's a lot of what you'll do. But those / commands can be very powerful. So let's take a look at some of what's in there, because there's a lot in here. You can dig through some of that. We'll hit some of the main ones. So text, of course, you can start writing with text. Page is to embed a page inside of this. So suppose under your content you wanted your books and stuff. We make a page here called My Books. And now this is another page where you can start listing your books or build a database or do whatever you want. But again, using the links at the top, we can go back to your content. You'll see there's a page now for My Books. So it's on here, and actually it puts it over here as well under that drop down there for My Books. And this is where favorites can be helpful, because My Books is something you use a lot and it's always kind of varied. You go into My Books, add a favorite, and keep it front and center for you. But going back to the content, let's see what else we have under / here. So we have to-do lists, and frankly, I don't like these to-do lists. I think you're better off generally with a database custom built to handle to-dos, and we'll talk more about that. There's different size headings. We can do a heading just for some text. You can see it makes it larger. If you want to break up a lot of text on the page, that can be very nice. Going on further, there's bulleted lists, numbered lists, and toggle lists. I think you know bullets and numbers well enough. Toggle lists can be pretty powerful, though, because if we do that, we say item 1, item 2, item 3. We can toggle it open, and inside of here, put any kind of block we want. So we could have some text, and we could do a header. I did that kind of quick, but you notice if you type / you can start typing the name of a command. So I started typing header, actually heading, and got it there. So we can do that kind of stuff. Another one. So inside this toggle, though, that's toggled open. I can then toggle that back closed to keep it clean. So if you have lots of info on different items, you can do it as a toggle list. Again, often better as a database, but there's cases where that can be pretty helpful. If we go back and / some more here, quotes, just to do quote style stuff. A divider is kind of nice just to break up the page, just as a line across for breaking things up a little bit. We'll go back into / some more. I can link to an existing page. So if you already have a page somewhere else, you can link to it from here. Call out to make things stand out. Inline, you can mention a person, mention a page, mention a date, add some emoji. You're doing inline equations. So for example, I can mention a page, and I can link it to My Books. We just have a link to it there. So again, this is the real page, and this is a link to the page. They both basically do the same thing, but you can't always have it, in two places. So this would live on this page, but if we were somewhere else, we could always reference back to it. It can be useful to link things around pretty liberally, just to keep things linked and make it easier for you to jump around and find things. Scrolling back down, again, there's the different kinds of databases we'll talk about in a little bit, but lots of different options there. We'll discuss each of those pretty in-depth. And then we get into the media. This is kind of nice. You can add images, bookmarks, videos, audio, that kind of thing. So for images, you can just click on image to upload or embed an image. And you can upload one, embed a link to an image, which probably is pretty rare, or use Unsplash and just find an image in here. And just click and add the image to the page just like that. It'll load in. You have your image there, and you can do a few things with the image. You can size it down and make it fit better. If we go back into / again, you'll see there's other things. Get way down here. The bookmarks is kind of nice. You can add a video from YouTube or Vimeo, add a code snippet, and there's ways to use this beyond code, like when we get into guitar tabs. Basically, this just keeps it so your code is a fixed width, which can be useful. You can upload files. Yeah, PDF would probably be the most common you would use. If you want to reference something, you can store files in here. This wouldn't replace something like Dropbox or Google Drive for real file storage, but if you have a file relevant to the page you're on, it can be pretty good. For example, if you're working in your My Books page, you make a page for a book, and have a PDF that goes with that book, that'd be a great place to put it. You can have a picture of the book and a description of the book and a file that goes with it and that kind of stuff. And then you can embed all kinds of other stuff. We won't get into this. I don't use these a whole lot. But you can embed PDFs. So instead of a link to it, it'll actually be showing on the page like a picture does. Google Drive, Twitter, GitHub, Google Maps, tons of different embeds you can do. And then you get some pretty advanced blocks. We'll talk about some of those further along in the course. And then you can turn a lot of blocks into other blocks. Not unlimited, but most of your text-based ones you can take from plain text into a heading or do different things with that. So that's a quick look at the blocks, and I encourage you just to get in there and play with them. And again, some of them, like the to-do list, I don't think you should really use that one. I'll show you better ways to do it further in the course. Lots of different blocks, lots of power to do. And then the next section will show you more how to use some of those to lay out a page, so it's not just a list of stuff going down the page like we have here.